I saw a band in Orlando, and the band that I saw is a band called Coldplay. So Coldplay happened to be in town that night, and I was really blown away. I think there's something about singing Yellow in a room with 15,000 people that just kind of is inspiring, you know? So, and then the yellow balls come out of the ceiling, and it's a good gig. So I basically walked out of that show really inspired and had this idea that this had to be more than a story, and decided that we would print these t-shirts, which were these t-shirts, just to raise money to get our friend through treatment. And then we felt like that we wanted the thing to have a home, we wanted people to find the story, we wanted people to find the shirts. And so I made a MySpace page, just so that, you know, maybe some people would find it around town. Basically the t-shirts started ending up in some surprising places, and guys who spend their nights on stages started to wear these shirts, and you guys are probably familiar with some of them. But most importantly, we started to hear from people who said that Renee's story was their story. People who had lost loved ones to suicide, people who said they had considered suicide, people who said they were talking about these things for the first time, people who said they had been dealing with this pain or this sadness for months and months and they didn't know where to go with it. People wrote in on behalf of friends that they cared about and asked about treatment, where they would go, what it would cost, you know, who they would talk to. Other people wrote in from a very different place and just admitted that they didn't know the first thing about these issues. Basically just saying that they had no idea, and maybe it was time that that changed. And so all of a sudden we kind of realized that we had stumbled upon a really significant conversation, and we realized that these were issues that not only in the States but around the world that you don't hear much about, that people don't talk much about. There's such a stigma that's attached to these issues, and there's such a sense of confusion. And then we began to hear from people who have devoted their lives to understanding these things, and to meeting these needs, and began to realize that there's a tremendous amount of hope that exists in the face of these things. That these issues like depression are very treatable. And so we feel like this is a really exciting conversation, and a really hopeful one. We've learned that around the world it's estimated that last year, the World Health Organization says that last year 1 million lives were lost to suicide. It's estimated that 20 times that represent the number of suicide attempts, so 20 million suicide attempts last year. Untreated depression is the leading cause of suicide, and it's estimated, maybe the most startling number is the idea that 2 out of 3 people who deal with depression, they don't get help. And I think so many people just walk through it alone, just really quietly. Hey, and I know, like I said, it's not a very rock show, but just maybe for someone else, I'll be done in just like another minute or two, so if you don't mind, just being shh. But so basically, we've just been blown away by this conversation that we found. We've heard from people in all 50 states, and then more importantly, we started to hear from people in the UK and Australia, and now we've heard from people in 40 different countries, and realized that these are not American issues, these are not white issues, these are not emo issues, but these are issues of humanity, which we think that means that these are issues that affect people. We don't really care if you think the shirts are cool or not. It's not really about that. We don't think t-shirts are that important. We don't think that a charity is important just because it's a charity. But we think that these issues matter, that hope and help matter because people matter. These are issues that affect people. And basically we're here in the back, and we'd love to answer your questions. We'd love to talk to you about what we do. Last year, in 2007, we supported treatment financially in the US and Canada and Australia, and I'm really excited to say in 2008 that we'll be supporting treatment in the United Kingdom. We were blown away. Like, obviously at first for me, I was a guy in Florida and didn't expect to hear from people basically outside of Orlando, and then started to hear from people in other parts of Florida, you know, and then throughout the US, and then all of a sudden we started getting these messages from people in England, and it was like, what? And then Australia, and it's been so exciting. This has been my first trip here, and we've been blown away by just how kind you guys have been, and how warm and encouraging, and we feel like you guys live in an important place. It's been exciting to stand on basically Bryce's stage every night and say that we believe that every person in this room has a story, and that every one of those stories is important. And I say that on behalf of all the guys you're going to see tonight. And so that's it for me. We're excited about this place. We're committed to this place. We'll be back, and more importantly, we're going to start to put down some roots here. So we hope you guys cool with that. Yeah! Hey, now I get to introduce some other friends of mine. We're basically from the same community back in Florida. 2 of the songs, I wrote a story about a girl named Renee.